నీతి నిజాయితీతో పెరిగిన అమ్మాయి అంతా ఈజీ ఓకే
నేను పక్కన ఉండాలనే వచ్చాను. ఆపరేటర్ చెప్పండి. నువ్వేం సంపాదిస్తావో దాంట్లో నాకు వార్త కావాలి.
Good evening, all. I hope you're all doing well. Okay, so good evening, sir.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Yeah, you can start the session, sir.
Okay, yeah, just a minute. I'll just share my screen and I will.
Yeah, sure.
Is that my screen is visible? Hello.
No, sir, it is not visible actually.
Mm, Okay. So what about now? Is my screen visible?
Yeah, yes, sir, it is visible now.
Yeah. Okay. So actually today we're going to see how to handle the Linux and what basic configuration of the Linux that and all we're going to see today. Because yesterday we see how to do the analysis of the port number and how we can able to find the vulnerable for that specific port number using some versions, and we see how we can able to find the misconfiguration. Actually, what is misconfiguration? We never dive into the misconfiguration, but we just try to understand actually what is misconfiguration. Okay, the reason is like because whenever we are trying for some new exploit, right? So public exploit will not help us to move forward, because most of the organization they will prevent the public exploit, because they also know in day by day every organizations what they are doing. They are learning, I mean they are reading some cybersecurity news, and they are learning something, and I mean they not try they're not trying to exploit their server, but they are trying to secure their server from learning something from the internet. Okay, so anyhow, the because I mean the things is like whatever the public exploit is currently available, for that all the exploit they are trying to find the remediations, and if that specific vulnerable is they are feeling that is that same vulnerable versions, or else is there is same scenario they are running in their application or else in their server, they'll try to fix that. Okay, and they will they know what are all the common exploit in the real world in the public facing. Okay, so even though if you want to say something about the new vulnerability, if you want to explain about some new vulnerabilities, right? That time we should know how the application is working and how the servers are working. What and all the scenarios are there in the application level and server level. Based on that, we need to find the misconfiguration. Okay, so that will only help us to do the security testing. For second, that one. The second thing is like we should learn some basic programming. The reason why I am saying that we should learn about the basic programming, the thing is like, so whenever we are trying to do some exploit if I using public exploit misconfiguration, that and all around we see 90 percentage it will cover. Okay, or else 80 percentage of the things you can do, but remaining 20 percentage, if you want to move advanced level, you should know how what and all the actual I mean how the applications are running. I mean, anyhow, we know that in backend there are programs. Okay, we need to understand that how the application logic, how the codes are written for that application, and we need to find the exploit for that application via code. The after that we need to exploit, and we need to inject some malicious script against that I mean against that application code. Then only we can able to complete the remaining 20 percentage of things. So it's like we can say basically, I can say it's like exploit writing. So you want to understand and you need to write your own exploit for that particular applications. Okay, so we need to do that. I mean, actually, for you see some of the application having the some of the server for some specific features, you see there are CVE. CVE in the sense CVE. So we say it as common vulnerability exploit. Common vulnerability exploit in the sense you are running some application. Okay. Uh, for to run that application, you are running some e-commerce. For example, we can consider it as e-commerce site. Okay. So for to run the e-commerce site, you are I mean taking some programming language like PHP or else Java. You are taking some programming language. For Java, for the outdated version, there will be some vulnerable public vulnerable. Okay, so that vulnerable will, I mean, name it as CVE. So if we know that WordPress website, we say it as CMS. Okay, content management system. So for that CMS there are different types of platform like WordPress, Joomla, then we have Magento. Likewise we have a number of platform. In that, if we see WordPress CV. If you type WordPress CV 2025, you will get the what is the current vulnerable on the WordPress applications. Okay, so this is the current CVE. So easily the organization will come to know what is the current vulnerable on the WordPress. If they are using the WordPress, they will directly search in the Google like what is the WordPress CVE of 2025. Why I am specifically mentioning 2025? Because the that is the last year. So in that last year, whatever the current vulnerables are, you can see. Even if you want, you can type to the 2026. Okay, for 2026 also there are few vulnerables. Okay, so if you open this, you can they will I mean elaborate what is actually actual vulnerabilities, what happened, and if the attackers, how the attackers can able to attack your WordPress application, in which way they can able to attack your WordPress application, and finally they will provide you the solution. So how you can resolve this issue. So everything they will give end to end. So if you read from the CV point, okay. So that's why every organization will know this. So now we are seeing that Linux, I mean for Linux file handling, the reason like not only file handling, we are going to see entire understanding of the entire complete Linux, not complete in the sense from the scratch to until the file handling. Okay, so the reason why we are seeing that Linux file handling and what is the base of the Linux. The reason is like if you want to find at least some base level of misconfiguration, we need to understand about the how operating system, how operating systems are working, what and all the file systems are there. So everything we need to know. Then only you can able to perform if you get the access of, for example, just imagine you got the access of your target. Okay, so access of your target in the sense this is your server. Okay, this is your server. What happened, you are running some application here. Okay, so take the application WordPress. Okay, so because we saw that there is a reason vulnerable in 2025. It's even though it's a critical vulnerable. Okay, so using, I mean, critical in the sense, sure, we know that there will be something like getting the application direct access without username, password, or else getting the access of your server. Maybe that type of things only we consider it as a critical. Okay, so we have some critical vulnerability. Just a minute. Okay, fine. So yeah, so there is a application is running in the name of, I mean, WordPress application is running in your target system. Okay, so what your I mean, this is your system. Okay, your PC. What you did, you got the access of this server. Okay, you got the even terminal as well, because yesterday we saw that how once you got the access, how it will look like. Okay, so we know that it's completely in the black screen, like see a command line interface. Okay, even if you target that target your if your target is Windows, even it is a Linux, you will get only the CLI, command line interface. Okay, so if you are get the access of the Windows, you should know basic commands of the Windows, then only you can able to control the target. Otherwise we can't able to control. And same way, if your target is Linux, if you got the access of the Linux system, right? So you need to know what are all the commands you can use to access the Linux system. Okay, so I mean, sometimes you will get some basic commands from the internet, and you will do some. You can read some files, and you can remove some files. Okay, so reading is not a problem. You can read the files, but if the attacker is trying to remove that file, or else if the attacker is trying to do something advanced level, right, for that time the attacker should take the complete admin access. To get the admin access, so attacker should know what and all the file systems are there. File system. So file system in the sense we consider it as C drive. Okay, so you see how the, I mean, in Windows we consider it, we say it as C drive is the main directory. In same like that in Linux we say is the file system. Okay, so when you are doing a penetration testing, we have some stages. Okay, first is like information gathering, info gather. Second is like enumeration. Okay, so then we have the exploit. Okay, yesterday we see till the exploit, how to gather the information, how to analyze the information, and deep dive into the enumeration, and with the help of that information, how we can do the exploit. This and all we see how to perform. Once you exploit, right, then you have the access of this system. You already get access. So after that, if you want to do something advanced level, that time you need to get the complete access. It means admin access, admin access of your system. Then only you can able to uh, take the, I mean, then only you can able to do whatever you want. Okay, for that we have so much of stages and so much of methods to I mean, not so much, we have some many few more methods, okay, to get the admin access. For that you need to understand the file system. Once you know how the Linux basic file system, it means C drive is working and how it's functioning, so that will help you to get bit advanced level. After even other than the file system we have few more things, but even though this is the main thing, you need to know how you can able to get the admin access. This is the base stage. Okay, so and if you want to clear your tracks, because once you get the access of your system will have complete logs in the sense, when whatever you are doing in your system, even not only while hacks I mean while your system get hacked, it will monitor, not like that. Okay, so whenever you are login, I mean normal login, and you are doing some activity, whatever you are doing, your system will monitor each and every activity, every minute, every hour, every seconds it will monitor. Okay, our system will monitor, and it will stored in some places. Okay, if you know where it's got stored, right, then we can able to clear the data. Okay, even if you want to do some forensic analysis, you should know where the log will get stored and how to understand the logs. Okay, so for both the end we need to know the basic file system handling of the target operating system, whether it is a Windows, whether it is a Linux. For everything we need the basic understanding of the operating system. Okay, then we can, I mean, that will help you to get deep into the advanced level. Okay, fine. So now we are going to see the Linux file system. So now I'll try. I mean, we have so much of Linux operating system. I mean, not a Linux operating system. We can say it as flavors of the Linux. So if you see here in Google, Linux. Okay, so specifically for Linux, we see so much of operating system. If you see here, okay, so we have so much of operating system, SALIX, and we have SMS, and we have so much of things here. Okay, so each operating system having some unique features. Okay, actually, this is not a operating system, or operating system in the sense we consider only this one. Okay, only this and all we consider. Slackware is a type of operating system, and we have Debian, that is a type of operating system. Other all just like flavors. From this operating system, we are creating new OS. Okay, we are doing some customization in that. Okay, customization in the in the sense, if you are a developer. Okay, you know how to handle Linux and everything. For that, what you're planning to create some customized operating system only for the development role. Okay, so what you will do, you will install some what are all the tools you want. You will install all the tools in that particular operating system, and you will mention, you will use some name. So then automatically that operating system used by different developers, right? So the developer will think, okay, this is your type of operating system only for the development. In the same way, the Kali and other Linux or gets come in. Okay, so that's why if we go and search what is the actual operating system of the hacking, we say it will show Kali Linux. Kali Linux is not a, I mean, not only the hacking cybersecurity, I mean, operating system for the cybersecurity, doing penetration testing activity. We have different operating system as well, like Parrot. We have Backtrack. Backtrack is the initial stage. I mean, in few years back, Backtrack is the first operating system we use for the penetration testing activity. So after that, from the Backtrack, they just, I mean, change the name to Kali Linux. Then they implement so much of future in the Kali Linux. And currently for Kali Linux, we have the version 2025. This is the current versions. Okay. So the anyhow, still they are doing some changes on the Kali. It depends upon the current technologies, everything. They are doing some updates. Okay. So same like if you are using, we have one more operating system called Ubuntu. Okay, so Ubuntu is also a type of operating system flavors. Okay, so Kali Linux, Ubuntu, then we have Kubuntu. This operating system and all come under Debian operating system. Okay, this and all come under Debian. So if you can see here, so there is a one more operating system name called Debian. So the Ubuntu, Kali, Backtrack, Parrot, and there are few more operating systems or come under the Debian. And even though we are running in the current tech, currently, okay, we are using in the currently, but even though other than that also we have so much of operating system. So if you see Tails. Tail is the one of the operating system used for the anonymous activities. I mean, if we use that, I mean that will mostly use for the anonymous activities. Then we have see, Ubuntu is there. Under Ubuntu, there are so much of operating system. This all operating system, I mean, flavors are come under the Debian. So you can ask me that, okay, what is the difference between Debian and Slackware? Okay, so Slackware is a type of operating system, and the Debian also is a one of the operating system type. Okay, so under this and all, saying it as flavors. Okay, then what is the difference? So whether I want to learn all the different types of operating systems, or else if any one is enough. Yes, one is enough to understand about the Linux. Okay, only I mean, 90 percentage everything will be the same in both the operating system, even Debian, even in the Slackware, everything will be the same. The 10 percentage, it means a few things will get changed. So, but if you start working on that, you will get some idea about that operating system. Okay, but anyhow, we'll see. How the Linux operating system will work and what are all the basic commands, everything we'll see in today classes. Okay. Okay, so you can download any operating Linux operating system. There is no specific operating system to the practice for the today classes. You can use Ubuntu or else you can use Kali, whatever the operating system you are feeling, and whatever the operating system you are having, that you can use to do the practice. There is no dependency. Okay, because today we're going to see the basic fundamentals of the operating system, what is the file system and file system of the Linux, and basic commands that and all the common for all the Linux. Okay, fine. So before getting into the file handling understanding of the file system, first we should know what is kernel. Okay, how the kernel is working and what is the actual usage of the kernel. Okay, kernel is that. So you have a hardware. In that hardware, you have the kernel. Okay. Inside the kernel, there is a things called operating system. So I mean above the operating system, there is the application. Okay, so this is the hardware. Then we have kernel. Then we have operating system. This is the application. Okay, so the kernel is like a mediator. We can say the kernel act like a mediator. Whatever the things you are interacting from on the application, this application will send the information to the operating system. The operating system will send the information to the kernel. The kernel will inform to the hardware to react what actually we are do whatever the process we are doing, that will instruct to the hardware to do that particular activities. Okay, even if we see that you have options here to reduce the volume, and I have option to increase the volume. Okay, so I'm just doing on the operating system level. Okay, even we say this is the type of application we are instructing this application to reduce the volume and increase the volume. Okay, so this instruction is going to the OS. This OS will give the instruction to the kernel. The reason why kernel is come in between the operating system and hardware, it's like a mediator, because our language is operating system level of language is completely different, because one human can only, operating system can understand the human level of language. Whatever we are trying to say and what we are instructing to the operating system, that operating system can able to understand, but the same thing hardware can't understand. So operating system is giving that information to the kernel receiving that information, and it's reading and it's informing, instructing the hardware what to do next. Okay, so that all the instruction are working in a fraction of seconds. Okay, whatever you are saying, it's working in the fraction of seconds. That's why all the things are working. We are thinking like, okay, it's working same time. Okay, fine. So in that operating system, what we are going to do now, we are going to install a VirtualBox. Okay, so in VirtualBox, we are going to install the Kali Linux, or else whatever the Linux. So though I don't want to mention any Linux name here. So instead of mentioning just Linux, okay, because any Linux you can use here. Okay, the reason you can ask me why I'm using VirtualBox here instead of directly. Most of them are planning to install the Linux directly into their physical machine. Okay, we can say the physical machine as a bare metal. Okay, directly we try to install that Linux on that physical machine. The reason is like, if you're if you are a practice, if you are currently you are starting the practice in the Linux, don't directly install the Linux in your physical system, because uh, you will face so much of errors. Because see, once you install the Kali, if you are installing any Linux on your physical system, so that will not cause any errors. Okay, okay, so that will not cause any error. Okay, when you are trying to install some other services or some other applications, that time you will face some errors. Okay, even some errors you can able to rectify it, but while you are trying to rectify that error, what happened, right? If you're not reading the error properly, if you're not understanding the error properly, what happened? Sometime the Linux will remove the main files from your operating system. Then what happens? So if you open the Linux again, you see that operating systems are missing, grub errors, and some of the application, if you want to install some of the application, uh, that will not allow. Okay, because when you try to install the A service or B service, just imagine A and B or any other services, it can be any services. If you try while installing this A or B services, you will see you face some errors, right? That error is, if you not read that error properly, and if you allow to access whatever the thing, what we do actually, we try just copy that error, and paste it in the chat GPT, and whatever the commands we are getting, we just copy paste it here. Okay, that will give you the solution, but not a proper solution. Okay, because we don't know, right, actually what the we need to understand the meaning of the error. Then only you can get the help of ChatGPT. but not completely rely on the ChatGPT, because ChatGPT will give whatever the things you are facing currently. Because for example, if you are using Ubuntu, okay, so someone are using Kali. Okay, some more are using like a SUSE Linux. Okay, there are different types of Linux may be used. Okay, so for Ubuntu, that application will support. For Kali, that application may not be support, and for SUSE, it will support, but initially it will give some errors. After that, you need to resolve that. Then only you can able to install it. Okay, because each and every Linux customized by somebody. Okay, whenever you are using Ubuntu, Kali, SUSE, that all the operating system was customized by someone. After that, only they are launching that Linux in the public facing. Okay, so the if you see what is the usage of SUSE, what is the usage of Kali, that's a unique usage. If we take Kali, we use for the cybersecurity activity. If I try to use this Kali as a server, okay, for server related activity, if I try to use the Kali Linux, sure I will get the error. And if I try to resolve that error, right, what happened? There is a chance of affecting the some other application. Okay, because completely I just created this Kali Linux only for the penetration security related of activity, not for the server oriented scenarios. Okay, but if I try to use that Kali as a server, sure I will face an error. Okay, so that's why what we are going to do. So we are trying to install the Linux in the VirtualBox. If even if you are getting some errors, if you are facing some issues, easily I can able to rectify, or just easily I can remove that OS and I can reinstall the OS. That's why mostly we are preferring the VirtualBox to install the operating system. Okay, for specifically for the Linux. Okay. Okay. So if you want to install Ubuntu, okay, so if you type Ubuntu download, you see so much of versions here. Okay. So the current version will be like 25. Okay, the Ubuntu latest version is 25. See here, 2510. Okay, so even you can use this OS version directly. You can download from here. You have different architecture. So one is for Intel 64-bit architecture, one is for ARM 64-bit architecture. If you are using Intel based, you can select this and you can download this. Okay, then you can install it on your VirtualBox. Okay, but my suggestion, like, don't directly download the latest version. Try with the lowest one, because in the latest version, um, I mean, if you understand the basic things right, easily you can adapt with the latest version. And for latest version, some of the if you try to install some tools right, that time you will face an errors. Okay, if you work on the lowest version, that mostly it will be look like error free. That's why my suggestion is like, so try to work with the bit older, not the two oldest version, at least one version backward downgrade. Okay, so if that will help you to even you will get a error, but easily you can rectify that. 24, 23, 22, that will help you to that is better, that will be better. Okay, you can download it from here. Okay, even some of them are not able to install the Ubuntu operating system because their specification is not that much good. Okay, their laptop specification. I mean, mostly if you go and search in internet, so you will see only 2 GB of RAM is enough, and 8 GB of storage is enough to install the Ubuntu. Okay, but actually that is enough. But when you are installing in your VirtualBox, at least you need to give minimum 30 GB of memory space, and you need to give minimum 4 GB of RAM. Okay, because we are not going to use that Linux for any specific activity. Okay, if you're going to use that Linux for some like a Excel purpose, for example, I'm saying if you're using that Linux only for the Excel purpose, or else you are just using that Linux for noting down some of the steps. Okay, just for noting down, like you're going to use like a notepad. So for if there is any single activity which consume low memory, then fine, you can use the configure the low versions. But if you anyhow, once you are whenever you are installing the Linux, right, sure you will use that for all the you will try to learn all the scenarios in the Linux. That I'm sure you need minimum 30 GB of memory, and minimum you need 4 GB of RAM to do the practice. Okay, so in VirtualBox you can configure from here. See, sorry, it's got. Okay, once you go open the VirtualBox, okay, so you just click on tools. Okay, you can click here new. Okay, once you click on new, you can see the name. So name I'm just giving Ubuntu. So you can give any name here. Here I'm just mentioning the name Ubuntu. And here what I'm doing here, I'm just selecting the Linux because we have different operating system. So I'm just selecting Linux. And here I'm just selecting what Linux operating system I'm going to use here. I'm going to use the Ubuntu. If you are using different operating system, not the Ubuntu, if you are trying to use different operating system other than here, what you can do, you can select Linux and you can create give the other Linux options. If you click on other Linux, you will see in other Linux it may be anything because we saw so much of flavors in the Linux operating system, right? So you can select in that which architecture you are going to use, 64-bit or else 32-bit. You can select here. Okay, based on the operating system you need to select. So now we know that we are going to use the Ubuntu operating system. So I'm just selecting here, or else you can see sometimes like Debian. So if you click Debian here, that whatever the operating system you are I mean going to install under this Debian flavors, right? This will help you to, this is enough. Okay, so you can configure like this. And now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to configure the RAM here. Okay, I'm going to give the memory around 4 GB of RAM here. Okay, 3 GB is fine, but anyhow, we are going to do some practice for other for all the. I'm just thinking from the all the point of view. I'm giving the minimum 4 GB of RAM here. Okay, then we have processor. In processor, I'm giving I have a 24 CPU. In that, I'm just selecting only one or two. One is enough. One is more than enough for most of the Linux operating system. We don't need to go for two, three like that. One is enough for most of the operating system. Then hardware. So here I will select the how much GB I need to utilize for the uh, Ubuntu operating system. So here I'm going to give 30 GB is enough. Okay. The reason why I'm giving 30 GB instead of using 8 GB, the thing is like I will update and I will install so much of tools and try to do so much. I mean, I will do some testing on that Linux. That time I will use too many tools, right? Anyhow, for if you just think for one tool, it's take if it is take around to 1 MB or 2 MB, 3 MB. If while installing so much of tool, sure, you need so much of memory spaces. 8 GB is not as sufficient to do this all the activities. Okay, so then just click on finish. Once you click on finish, so what you can do directly, because I already have so much of okay, I'll do the um, Ubuntu. I'll remove this. Okay, so I'll just show you how to do that. I'll just remove this for time being. Okay, I'm clicking on new. Then what I'm doing here, I'm just using uh, Ubuntu. Yeah. Then I'm giving 2 GB of RAM or 4 GB, whatever I want. Okay. Here I'm just specifying only 2 GB because I'm just going to show you how to configure that. Okay. That's why I'm using a minimum level of memory. Then I'm clicking finish. So here you can see the Ubuntu operating system name. Okay. So if you click on start right now, right, it will give you an error like, so the operating system is missing. So if you see, okay. So if you see here, you will get an error like, so in a VirtualBox VM and you see that mount and retry boot, you are getting some error. If you see here, the no bootable medium found, it means that, so there are no operating system configured in this virtual operating system. So what I need to do now, so I'm clicking on this. I'm going to settings here. Okay, so here you see so much of option. In this option, I'm selecting storage. Okay, in storage, you can see there is a empty storage. So I'm just clicking here, choose a disk file. Okay, so in downloads already I downloaded the padding Oracle. There is operating system name called padding Oracle. It's like it's a Ubuntu operating system. Okay, for my understanding, for different usage, I just mentioned the name called padding Oracle, but actually this is the Ubuntu operating system. Okay, so I'm selecting here. Okay, I'm selecting here. Then I'm clicking on OK. Then I'm just click start here. Just wait for some time. You see the operating system will. You'll see that the operating system will run. See here the operating system is running. It's you see that the booting, kernel, everything. See, this is the operating system. Directly, you see the pen tester lab at the rate of vulnerable. So you see that name. Yeah, I can run some commands here. If config, whatever the commands I want to run, I can run it here. Okay, and you need to configure one more thing. Like, so here you see the IP will be 10.0.2.15. Okay, you need to change this IP. You need to change this IP. The reason why we need to change it, because whenever you are I mean directly start the um, virtual machines, by default your network device will be in the NAT adapter. Okay, you need to convert it to the bridge adapter. Reason is that then only it will this operating system will consider as a separate operating system. Otherwise, what happen, right? If you keep on using NAT, so whenever you try to access some internet or else some something from the public network, what happened? So this Linux system completely rely on your Windows Wi-Fi. Okay, completely will rely on your Windows Wi-Fi. So if you try to access some Google, Facebook, whatever it is, okay, so directly that data will go to your Windows Wi-Fi. From this Windows Wi-Fi only, the data will go outside. Okay, it will not consider like a separate one. So if you want to, I mean, initially when you are in opening the Linux operating system, that time you don't want to change anything. But if you keep on working on that Linux operating system, after completing the basic understanding, if you are moving for the next level like network configuration, that time you should change it to the bridge adapter. Otherwise you can't able to work on the network level of configurations, so you'll face so much of errors there. Okay, you need to convert it to the network adapter. I mean, you need to convert the network NAT adapter to the bridge adapter. Okay, so after that, if you click on, sorry, I just now I converted, right? So I need to close and I need to restart the system. I mean, restart in the sense not a entire Windows. I just want to restart this Ubuntu machine. That's enough, because I just changed the network adapter for this specifically for the Ubuntu, right? So I just want to restart the window Ubuntu. That is enough. Just a minute, it will open. Okay, if config. Okay, you see the IP will be 192.168.61.59. So this is the IP. Yesterday I mean, not a yesterday, day before yesterday, we see what is the IP address and how they are, I mean, how the IP address will be look like, everything we saw, right? So based on that, the IP will created here. Okay. So if I get 192 series, it means now my system is considering this is the separate operating system and my Windows is the separate operating system. Now this our Linux will not relay, I mean, rely on my Windows. Okay, it will not rely on my Windows directly. Whenever you are trying to access Google, Facebook, it will directly interact with our Wi-Fi network device. From that, it will get all the information. Okay, so for that, I need to convert it as a bridge adapter. Okay, so for the practice purpose, what I am going to do now, I'm going to use the Kali Linux here, because if you have any doubts, right, I can show you in the graphical way, and same time I can show you in the command line as well. But here completely is a command line interface. I can't able to show you any graphical mode. That's why I'm going to use the Kali Linux here. I can show you graphical and same time command line. If you are having any doubts, directly I can show you on the graphical mode. So before starting this, if you guys have any doubts, you can ask me. Yeah, WordPress is an application to develop the website. Android is also a part of Linux. Okay, from Linux, we are using for multiple, but even you are using for like Mac, Apple mobile, right? That is also a part of Linux. I mean Linux on this instance, in which cases you are asking, I'm not able to get your point, because you just say, so why Linux only, but not Windows to perform the operation. What type of operation you are asking? Because whenever we are using the Linux, right, you can do so much of automation. Even you can do it in the Windows, but automation type of scenario, Linux will consume less memory, and then Linux will easily you can able to perform. You can able to do the automations. You can run some automation scripts. That's why mostly we are using the Linux. Even you can do it on Windows also, not like that only Linux will help you on that. Even you can do it on Windows, but comparing to the Windows, Linux will be bit easier. See, not like that. Installing Kali Linux is not like a dangerous for your laptop. Okay, the thing is like, in when I mean recently there are that there are cloud technologies. In cloud technology, initially they given the space for Kali Linux. Okay, so if you want to take the Kali Linux from the cloud, you can directly get it. Okay, but after some period of time, what they did, they just remove the Kali Linux from the cloud. Okay, the reason they are saying that, if someone take the access of, because in cloud technology, whenever you are getting some operating system, right, for that operating system you will get an IP. Okay, so even in the same cloud, if someone is getting the IP, right, easily from that Kali, and that another one person system can able to interact each other. If whenever the Kali, I mean the user who is using Kali, right, if that user want to do some illegal activity against that nearby target IP, like try to attack the I mean the user systems, that is very easy to attack. That's why they say that, okay, I just want to remove the Kali from the cloud. No, I mean it's not that. So if you use the Kali Linux, it's a dangerous for your laptop. You can use any operating system. Even if you use I mean any Linux, you can use any Linux, like Ubuntu you can use, or else you can use SUS Linux, because hacking is no, I mean we are not going to rely on Kali Linux. Okay, we are not going to completely depend on the Kali Linux. As a cybersecurity professional, whatever the Linux with you in your hand, you can use that to do the hacking process. Okay, so it's not like only Kali Linux will help you on that, because the most of them are thinking that Kali Linux, the reason why we should not use the Kali Linux in our system, because Kali Linux is completely for the hacking. So they are thinking from that point. That's why they are saying that it is very dangerous for your system. Not like that. Even if you use the Ubuntu, you can do the hacking activity. Even if you use SES Linux, even if you can use Amazon Linux, you have so much of Linux, right? Even you can take any operating Linux flavor from these distributions. Okay, so you see that so much of Linux flavor here. You can take any operating system from these distributions. You can use that for hacking. Okay, so it's not like Kali Linux is the dangerous for your laptop. Yeah, that's why I mean the same thing I'm explaining here. Okay, so the Linux is on. Yeah, so I'll start from the basic commands. Okay, so what I'm doing now, so once you open the terminal, you see the interface like this. Okay, so for Kali, you will see like this. For Ubuntu, you'll see something like different. Okay, sometimes you will see like just a minute, I'll show you some image. Okay, for Ubuntu, you will see like this. Okay, the name of the operating system, I mean system name, and you will see the dollar symbol here. For Kali, the same name of the system, and you see the dollar symbol here. Instead of showing here, I mean in Kali Linux, they just created some different graphical response to show that terminal. Okay, so but the command will be the same for all the operating system. There is no change. So now what I'm doing now, I'm typing pwd. Pwd is that, I mean the thing, whatever the things we are going to see, these are the basic commands. Okay, this will help you once you get the access of the system, right? These commands are help you to analyze the system. Okay, so pwd is the command, like a present working directory. This command will say, I mean this terminal is currently on which folder. Okay, because you would just open the terminal, you see only the black screen. I want to know currently you are in which folder. Okay, so here in operating system, whenever you are using the commands, right? So in that command, all the things are considered as a folder. Even the desktop also we consider it as a folder. We know desktop is like a graphical thing, so if we say this is the desktop. But once you are using the terminal or command line, right? So from that time onwards, they even though desktop downloads everything's are the folders. Okay, it's not you can't imagine in the graphical mode. Okay, so now I am typing pwd. Pwd in the sense present working directory. Currently this terminal is in which folder, pointing to the which folder. It's pointing to the Kali. Even you see that home here, it means there is a folder name called home. Once if we get into the home folder, there is another one folder called Kali. So currently we are into this specific folder. Okay, so if I type ls, right, you can see list of files, I mean text file, PHP file, folders, configuration file, whatever the things or whatever the files and text folders are under this Kali folder, you can see that. Okay, ls will list you all the files. Okay, even if I type ls hyphen l, right, sorry, ls hyphen a. So I will explain ls hyphen a, then I will explain ls hyphen l, because I just want to give some brief explanation on this point. So before that, I'll just explain you what is ls hyphen a. Okay, so ls hyphen a in the sense you can able to read the hidden files. Okay, so hidden files in the sense, so you see some of the, I mean initially just type ls, you see that cve 2025 exploit github, some other files are also there. Okay, but in the say under the same folder, you see that dot bash underscore logout, dot bash rc, you see so much of files. The thing is like, so in Linux, if you start the files or text file or folder initially from the dot, right, it consider it as a hidden files. Okay, when you type ls hyphen a, the a will show you all the hidden files in the current folder. Okay, that's why we can able to see so much of files in the current folder. Okay, so now ls hyphen l, ls hyphen l in the sense, we can see here. Okay, so you see what is the actual file name. Okay, and you see that whether, I mean, when it got created, then you can see file name. I mean, who created this? Root user. I mean, because in your system, surely we have different users. Okay, like sometimes I mean, whenever you are installing the Windows operating system, like you will give the name of your name for your system. That time you will use your name. Here I will use my name for Windows. Okay, in Kali, by default, whenever you are using the Kali, right, by default the Kali is the one of the user. There is one more user called root. Root, we consider it as a admin. Okay, so here it's showing that this particular folder is created by the root. Okay, so and the root user can able to access. Even if you see here, I am creating one new document. Okay, I mean now folder. You just imagine we are now I'm going to create new folder. What I'm doing now, mkdir space testing. I'm giving the command called testing here. Okay, enter. So mkdir in the sense make directory. Directory means folder. I'm trying make directory in the sense create a new folder in this name. Okay, testing is the name of the folder. So if I type ls hyphen l, you see who created this? Kali. And created on which date, which month, everything you can see from here. Okay, even you see there is one more Kali. It means created by the Kali user, and the same this folder can able to access. I mean, this folder completely can able to access by the Kali user, and who are all under the Kali group, they can also able to access this file. Okay, the thing is like, okay, for example, you just imagine Kali is the admin. Kali is admin. So admin in the sense, sure, we have complete access of all the files in the operating system. Okay, so there is a group name called Kali, and there is so much of new users, like user one, okay, user two, then have a user three, then user four. So much of users are there. I need to provide permission for this user. Okay, so whether this user need complete admin access, or else whether this user needs some partial access of my system. So if I want the complete access, right, what I'm going to do now, directly I will add this all the user into this Kali group. Okay, it means already Kali user group have the complete admin access. I'm just saying example. If the Kali user have the complete access of the admin, right? Admin, I mean, complete access of this Kali, I mean, this all Linux operating system, then all the user also will have the same power. Okay, because I'm just adding under this user, right? This Kali group. So instead of giving the permission to each and every user separately, I'm just adding this all user into the specific group, and I'm giving the privilege to this group. Actually, in this Linux scenario, Kali will not have all the permission. For example, I'm saying that if the Kali user have the admin access, right? Kali group. Okay, this is the user. The first Kali is considered as a user. The second Kali is considered like a group. Okay, if the Kali group have the complete admin access, so who are all coming under this Kali, all will have the same power. Okay. Okay. Then you can see few more options here. If you see, there is a uh, text called D. D means directory. Okay. Sometimes you can't able to see uh, what to say. Here, sometime you are saying that folders are in the blue color, normal text files are in the white color. Okay, if there is a different file extension also, it show in the white color. Okay, based on the color code, you can differentiate which one is folder, which one is not a folder. Okay, even you have few more option that based upon the extension, you come to know that whether it's a text file, or else it's a Python program file, or else it's a exe file. You can able to understand, you can able to differentiate from your side. Okay, sometimes whenever you are using different operating Linux, right, that time you can't able to uh, see this color code. Okay, if you type ls-l, all the files will look like same colors. Mostly it will be in the white. because the background will be the black, right? So mostly you will see all the things are in the white color. So if you want to understand which one is folder, which one is not folder, that time we use, okay, I will give one more example for that. Slash bin slash. Okay, you see here, now I'm giving the same command in my Linux. Okay, ls. You now if you see all the things are look similar. Okay, now if I try to create some text file also, okay, I will explain what is how to create the text file. But as of now, I'm just going to show you um, why we need to use the ls-l. The reason is like some of the Linux operating system will show all the things in the same color. That time we'll get some confused. That's why we are using ls-l to identify whether it's a folder or else a text file or else it's a program files. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm creating some text file, touch space test. Okay, if I click ls, you see there is a one of the file called text. Now see template is also there. This is also looks similar to text file. I mean text file, and this is also look like the same. So this is also look like the same. Okay, so that's why I'm doing now here ls-l. Once I click ls-l, by giving, I mean, I see that whatever the what and all the files I am seeing the D in front of that. So that and all the directory, it means folders. Others are the different files like text or maybe a see you see that a SSHD. Though if you're not able to see the D, right, it means it's not a directory. It's not a folder. It's something like text file or else some configuration file. Okay, for whatever the files you are creating, for that files you see .txt and .exe, .elf, that and all you can see. For sometimes you're not able to even see the txt or extension. Okay, so most of the configuration files will look similar like this. Okay, you can't able to understand whether it's a text file or else whether it's a folder. So it's looks all the things are look same. Once you give that ls-l based on this structures, you can able to understand whether it's a text file or else it's a normal file. I mean the folders. Okay, fine. So I'll just take to the normal position. Okay, so if you guys are having any doubts on this, you can ask me. After that, I'll just move on to the next one. So if you want to download Kali Linux, you just go here and just type Kali download. That's enough. Kali download. Once you click on here, it redirect to the Kali page. So you can see two options here. One is like installer image, another one is like virtual image. So if you click on installer image, you see there is a file. It's a ISO file. Okay, so ISO file in the sense you need to install from the start. You need to install step by step. Okay, so if you click on this virtual image, you have an option called VirtualBox. If you install this directly, you can open this VirtualBox. I mean, the virtual file in your VirtualBox. You no need to install that Linux or Kali Linux operating system like step by step configuring each and everything. Because if you download this, it's already installed. It's already done. Everything's are done. Okay, you just need to extract that. You can see it in the VirtualBox. Simple. It's just a structure, that's it. So green color, white color, it just look like a structure. I mean, based on the shell, it's the color code will get changed. But actually, we can't. I mean, that's why I'm saying we can't able to rely on the color codes. Okay, so if you depends on the color code, sure. Sometimes if you're not able to see the color right, you will get some problem. I mean, you don't know how to analyze that. Instead of that, you need to understand in the way of like by using ls-l, you see some of the information here. Based on this structure, you need to understand. Okay. So if the system is getting crashed, you need to see. I mean, mostly if the system is getting crashed, right, there will be some reason. If you overload your memory, or else if you overload your CPU, or else RAM, sure the system will get crashed. You just want to check I mean, reason, I mean, for which, I mean, to overload your CPU memory and RAM memory, which application is doing that. So if you found that, then you can able to resolve that. Yeah, this is the way. So I will explain this, what actually read, write, and execute. So that I will explain. Okay. See, it's not like a free. You need to read so much of blogs that only will help you for the learning in the cybersecurity field. It's just not just like, okay, I learn this, so I can able to do everything. So even though who are having so much of experience, they will also still do some research on some online books. I mean, research on the books, and they will learn so much of things every day, because we have so much of technology, right? So there is a technology IoT, then we have technological OT, then we have application. In application also we have different varieties: web application, mobile application. We have so much of things. So to learn everything, it will take time, and you should not depend on any online YouTube platform or something. You need to you can get some idea on the YouTube. After that, you need to depend on some. I mean, you need to read some books, or you need to refer some blogs, or else you need you want to connect with some mentors you to get an idea about cybersecurity, because already they know what and all the struggle they face in the cybersecurity area. They will help you to guide on that. Okay, I mean, whenever, I mean, the guidance in the sense, if you're doing some research on, I mean, you are learning something on the online, okay, some blogs, or you are researching something, you are facing some doubt, you are feeling, I mean, you are facing some doubts, right? That time you can get help from your mentor to overcome that doubts. Otherwise, what happen, right, most of the time you will be on the loop. You will keep on looping in the same place, you will be in the same page. Yeah, sure, you need the programming language. We can't without programming language we can't able to do anything. So if you want to I mean, if you're having interview on the cybersecurity domain, just first uh, make you, I mean, make your foundation very strong, like a network level, like a server level. You should make very strong, and you should know, I mean, whenever you are doing, say, I mean, they will ask the question, okay, if you got the system, okay, there is a client, they are coming and providing the system to provide some sort of security. Okay, what and all the step and what and all the measures you will take to provide the security, that and all you need to explain. And what and all the frameworks you will use. Then if there is a web application, what frameworks you will use to do the security testing, that everything you need to explain that. Mostly they will ask the question from this specific areas. I just say the major topics, but under that you have so much of subtopics. I mean, there is no dependency on any languages. I mean, like if you are, okay, example, you just take, you are doing some security test on the application. If the application is running in the Python, you should know how the Python language, not in the complete way, at least you know how to understand that. Okay, that's enough. If you know how to logic of the Python, and if you understand that, based on that, you can able to write your own script to exploit that target. Because you need to understand the code. Based on the code, you need to write. If there is a .NET code, you need to understand the .NET. If it is a PHP, you need to understand the PHP. Not like so C and PHP, Python. Not like any one language will not help you on that. Yeah, it's a flavor, you can say. I mean, not a flavor, it's a kernel. Actually, the Linux or the kernel. So, using that, they are creating the operating system, and there are so much of flavor. Like in Android, you have different versions, right? Like this. Fine. So, you have, you know what is D now. Okay, all will aware of what is D. Then we see that or WX or WX, then or hyphen X. We see something like this. Okay, or WX in the sense. Okay, first RWX is right, read, write, and execute. So you need to take like this. You need to consider the first RWX is like a uh, current user who is I mean who created this particular files. They have the full permissions. Okay. The second thing is like group. Okay. So if you are giving a specific permission for the Kali group, right? So that group can able to access. Like um, instead of call, if you're giving some other groups here, for that group that permission will react. And for rx this is like others, other than the current user, other than the group users, if there is any other users, right, for that user this permission will work. So like read and execute, not able to write that. Okay, so for other current user and the group, I mean who are all in the current group of this Kali user, they have the complete read, write, and execute permission. Read, write in the sense you can read and you can edit the file and you can execute the file. You can run the file, it means. Okay. So if you want to change the permission of that particular folder, right, there is a command. So before that, what I will do, I will show you how the permission is I mean how the permission is getting denied. Okay, so for that what I'm doing now, I'm just moving as a root user. Now currently I'm a Kali user. If you want to check currently I'm in which user, you just type who am I. Okay, you can see it's saying that I am the Kali user. Now what I'm doing, I'm just moving to the root user, just typing sudo hyphen space su, and it will ask me the Kali system password. I'll give the password. So now you see it's converted to the root user. Okay. So if I type who am I, you see now I am converted as a root user. Okay. Now what I am doing now, I'm just try to create a new text file. For that, I'm using this command touch space. Okay, touch is the command to create the text file. Okay, text or any other program files, like maybe it's a HTML file, PH Python file, or else Ruby, or else C file. You can create any file with the help of this touch command. Okay, but you should make sure you need to add the extension. So if I want to create a text file, right, what I will do, testing user dot txt. Okay, if I my the you need to mention the extension end of that. Okay, so I'm creating the testing user dot txt text file. Okay, if you see ls-l for testing user dot text, you see the permission here, read, write for the current user. For other user it's just in the read permission. Okay, even though some who are all under the root groups, they have only the read permission. They can't able to do the editing or anything. Only they can able to read. Okay, now what I am doing now, currently now I am the root user. I am shifting from root user to Kali user. Okay, because I need to check, because this file created by the root user. Once I just move it, I mean login as a Kali user, I can able to see whether I can write edit this text file or not. Okay, so what I'm doing now, nano. So now first I need to change from root user to Kali user. Sudo su space hyphen space Kali. Okay, instead of Kali, you can give any username. Okay, instead of Kali, you can give any username here. Okay, I mean not any username in the sense you can't give any name. Okay, this user, whatever the username you are going to give here, that username should already in the Kali database. Okay, then will you can able to shift. If it is not there, sure you can't able to shift. For example, see, I'm just typing AAABBB. I'm just giving some random name here. If I click, it show you that you will get an error. User AABB does not exist on the user entry. Okay, the name whatever you are giving here, that name should be in the Kali database. Okay, sudo su hyphen. I'm giving Kali. See, now it's properly shifted from the root user to Kali user. The reason is like Kali user is already in the database. Okay. Now I'm just giving ls-l. Yeah. So you can see here testing user dot text file is there. Now what I'm going to do, I plan to edit this file. Okay, so for editing, for creating the text file, we use the command called touch. For doing editing, what I'm doing, I'm giving the command nano space testing user dot text edit. I can able to open, no problem. But if I try to if I try to write, I can able to write. But see, if I try to save this file, okay, I'm trying to save this file. It's showing me save modify buffer. I'm just saying yes, and I try to enter. See, you are getting an error. Error writing testing user dot txt permission denied. Okay, so if you want to close this, you can Q Control X for exit. Okay, while exiting, it will ask you whether I want to save this file or no. If you click give yes and hit enter, it will give you the error. So if you say no, it will get closed because you don't have a permission. But if you want to read that file, you can read. Okay, see now what I'm doing sudo su. I'm moving to the root user now. Okay, I have that same file testing user. What I'm doing nano space testing user dot text. I'm typing some random text here. Okay, hello everyone, good evening. I'm just typing some random text here. Okay, so now I'm saving this file. So Control X. It's asking me save the modify buffer, yes or no. I'm just hitting yes and enter. Okay, so it's got saved. Okay, now I'm shifting from root user to Kali user. The reason you can ask me why we are not, I mean, why I'm not doing some editing on the from the Kali user itself. The reason is like I don't have a write permission. I can't able to write. I can't able to edit that file. That's why. Okay. So, but you can see the file. If you want to read, you can read. See, testing user.txt. I mean, touch is the command to create a text file. Nano is the command to edit the file. Cat is the command to read the file. So for everything, there is a separate command. Okay. So see, I can able to read, but I can't edit that file. The reason is that because of the permission. The permission is like the current user can able to read, right? But other users or I mean, who are all under the groups, they can only read that. So now what I plan to do that, I plan to give the right permission for the other user. Okay, other than the root, other than the uh, I mean group of user who are all under the root, I'm going to give the right permission for other users. Okay, even though if you want to give the permission for that particular file, I need to move as a root user because that file created by the root user. That's why. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'll use the command called ch mode. Okay, ch mode in the sense change mode. It's like changing the permission for the specific user. I mean, specific file or a specific folder, we can say. Okay, then I'm giving capital letter R. Okay, so then I am giving that 777. So the reason of 777 is that the first 7 is like current user, the second 7 is for group, the third 7 is for other users. Okay, so I think someone share me that commands already. Yeah, see here. If you want to read the text file, you need to give the number called 4. If you want to write the text file, you need to give the number 2. If you want to execute something, you need to give the number 1. If you give if you give 7, right, it's like 4 plus 2 plus 1 7. So it means that particular file have the all permissions read, write and execute. Okay, so now my plan is that read and write permission is enough, not to execute. It means 4 plus 2 6. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, so here 6 0 6, it means current user have the complete I mean read and write permission. Group no permission. Other user I'm giving like yeah, read and write for that user also. Now testing user dot text. Okay, so if you see here, sorry, ls-l, you can see read write and read write. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift from Kali root to Kali user. Now I plan to edit that file. Okay, nano testing user dot text. Even see there is no error. Initially when I open that, right, you see that error here, but now I'm not getting any error. I'm just I will try to type and I'll try to save the file. Um Thanks for giving me this permission. Okay, so I'm just saving, control X, yes, enter. See, there is no error. Even other user can also able to write that file because of I changed the permission for that user. Okay, you need to play with the permission also. Okay, so whenever you I mean get the access of the system, you need to see whether the specific file having the permission of read write, or else which user have that permission to read this particular file. All the things you need to see. The reason is like if, for example, just imagine you logged in as a um, user called A. Okay, there is a three different user. Just instead of Kali, I am giving K. There is another one user called R, another one user called E. Okay, so the K user is like a normal user. Okay, R user is like a instead of saying normal guest. Okay, so R is like a super user. So E is like a root user. It means admin. Okay, so from here you are seeing that, okay, K you only R user can read this file. Okay, you are seeing that only, okay, for this file only R user can able to read, and who are all under the R groups, they can able to read this file. Okay, yeah, so normal K user can't able to even do anything, not able to read, not able to write, not able to execute, nothing. It's completely zero here. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to find a way to read this file. Okay, so just imagine in this file you have some sensitive information to get the directly login as a root user, or else you are say there is a possible of getting the password. Okay, password of this root user. Okay, if you got some way to read this file, right, so or else if you have got a way to switch from K user to R user, then you are a R user, then easily you can able to read this text file, and you can read the password, and you can shift from this user to this user. So the analyzing is the matter here. So whatever the analysis methodology you are following, based on that analysis, you can able to move forward. Okay, you need to think in the logical point. You need to think from the logical way. Yeah. So if you guys have any doubts, you can ask me now. Till now, if you guys have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, I'll take it as no comments, no doubts. Okay, everyone are clear. Okay. So now what I am doing, I'll just, if you want to move from one folder to another folder, you need to use the command called cd. Okay, there is a command called cd. This will help you to move from one folder to another folder. For example, see pwd. Currently, I am in the Kali folder. Okay, I want to move from this Kali folder to have um, documents or else downloads. Just consider there is a folder called downloads. I need to move from Kali folder to this folder. Okay, cd downloads. Okay, so I can able to download. If I give pwd, you can see so I am in the downloads folder. So even it will show the path track. So under the home folder there is a folder called Kali. Inside this there is a folder called downloads. Okay, so and even though you need to understand one more thing, Linux or the case sensitive part, if you I see there are so much of files here now. Okay, what I am doing, cat file.txt. Okay, here you see there is a file.txt. I'm giving the same name here. Okay, but see, no such files or directory. The reason is like the first letters of file is capital letter, caps. So here I given the small. Okay, even though you need to see space, small, everything, the Linux will take it as a concern to open or move the files. Okay, so you need to, I mean, clearly, or else if you have lengthy character, just copy paste it. Okay, even if you want to go from, you see, now we are in the downloads folder. If I want to go from downloads to previous folder like Kali, I'll just give cd space dot dot slash. So it means I can able to move from the current folder to the previous folder. See, pwd. Now I am the Kali folder. Okay, so even you can directly move 3, 4 folders in a single command. See, for example, if you know there is a folder, okay, I'll show you in the graphical way first, then I will explain you. Okay, I mean, I'll show you in the commands. See here, so there is a file system. In that, there is a folder called var. Then I have a folder called www. Then there is a folder called html. Okay, so instead of going one by one, what I can do in the Linux command cd slash var www html. If I know the complete proper path, directly I can use the slash and I can add the folder name, and I can directly move from one folder to the current proper, I mean the target folder in a single command. Okay, I don't want to go one by one like cd slash var and cd slash www and cd space html. I don't want to go like that. So even I can move in the single, using the single command, I can directly move from one folder to another folder. But the folder should be in the proper, I mean the proper in the sense. Okay, just a minute, I'll just come out from the, I'll go to the Kali folder now. Okay, so there are a few folders here. Okay, so now I am planning that I need to get into the Kali folder. Okay, so if I type space Kali, see here, no such files or directory Kali. Okay, but if you see in the graphical way, okay, in the file system, you see uh, there are so much of folder. The for the home, I mean the Kali folder will be inside the home. Once you click on home, you see there is a folder called Kali. Okay, so if you want to get into that Kali folder, you need to first move it to the home folder, then only you can move it to the Kali. Okay, otherwise we can't able to move. So you need to know the proper path. So if you want to get into the Kali folder, or else if you want to get into any specific folder, you need to know, you should know the proper pathway. So where first which folder you need to get in, after that which folder you need to get in to reach the proper folder. Okay, so cd is the command to move from one folder to another folder. It's like a change directory. Okay, so now I'll show you how to copy paste. Okay, so if you want to copy the file from one folder to another folder, the command will be cp. Okay, first I'll note it down. What is the which file I need to move from one folder to one place to another place. So I have a file called pass.txt. I need to move this file from pass.txt from Kali folder to DH folder. Okay, so what I'm doing, cp space pass.txt. Okay, so pass.txt is the source folder. Okay, pass.txt is the source folder. I need to move to the DH. Okay, if I give the DH here directly, it will not work. Okay, I need to mention properly. First, to get into the DH, you need to log in. You need to move the point to the home folder. Then there is a folder called Kali. Inside the Kali folder, you have a folder called DH. Inside this, you need to keep that file. Okay, to keep it, I just giving dot in the sense it will paste here in the same name. Okay, so I'm just hit enter. Okay, I don't have a permission. Oh, then I'll move as a root user. Okay, I'll use the same command. Just copy paste. Okay, see, now I'm just moving to the cd dh ls. You see the pass.txt file here. Yeah, so there is a file called pass.txt. How to, yeah, so I just copy paste that file. So if I want to remove this file, I can type rm space pass.txt. So rm in the sense, you can remove that file. Remove, rm is the remove command to remove the file. Okay, so if you, I mean, for copy paste for text file, this is the command. Okay, if you want to copy paste the text file, this is the command. If you want to copy paste the directory, right, so in between you just want to add one more command, like here you need to add that. There is the command. Yeah, so here you need to add just hyphen r is enough. So hyphen r, small r is enough. So it means that if you are copy pasting any folder, you need to add the command called r. Other commands are same, just need to add the hyphen r, that's enough. Okay, so if you want to move some files from a copy pasting is different. If you want to move, you can use the command called mv. Same structure, but the difference between copy cp command and move, copy paste copy command will keep the file in the both the places. Move, it will move the complete file, I mean, move the file from the current place to the destination place. That's a different here. Okay, so move space pass dot text. First I'll see whether there is a file called, okay, I just want to come back because the pass dot text will be in the kali folder. Okay, so now I'm just giving mv space pass dot text slash home kali, then dh. Okay, I'm just giving dot here. The reason is like I just want to use the same name here. I don't want to type the entire name. I'm just giving the dot in the sense just use the same name here. Or else if you plan to rename it, right, you can use the same command. Just finally instead of giving dot, you just want to type uh password for ssh dot txt. You need to give like this. So if you see cd dh, if you see here, you can see the password for ssh.txt. So for renaming also you can use the same command. For move also you can use the same command. Just the last thing will get changed. If you give the dot, the same name will be stored here. If you give the content, it will use that character as a rename. There are three user instances. I can't able to get you. So you're saying blindly, you're saying that three user. I mean, blindly in the sense I'm not able to get your point. Okay, fine. So this is the command to move or copy paste the file. And there is a one more command, cat. So not a command, this is like a file. Okay, so there are some of the sensitive files. If you can able to read that file, right, there is a chance of getting the complete admin access, because uh, we know that, right, already in yesterday class I show you that how you can able to exploit the system. So once you get the access, sure, you will not get the complete admin access. You have some you have the access, not a complete, it's a partial access. Okay, just consider like a kali. Okay, so mm, okay, you are in the Kali user. So now what we are doing, cat slash etc passwd. If I can able to read the PASSWD file, right? I can able to see how many users are there. Kali is one of the user, Hari is one of the user, Raj is one of the user. There are different users also there. Okay, so the actual user will be this one. So it will start from 101, 102. Okay, this is the actual user. If you see some user in the 220, 129, 128, 130. So sorry, it's not a 101, 1001. Okay, 1002. Okay, if you see the 3-digit number, right? It means if you are trying to install some new services or new uh, files in your system, right? That time, this, I mean, Kali will consider that new application also is a type of user. Okay, that's why here it's showing me the not. Okay, actual user will be the Hari Raj. Sorry, not Hari Raj, Hari Raj Kali. Okay. I think you got already the attendance link. I mean, you can see here in group the attendance is already there. Okay, so even if I can able to read, there's a few more sensitive files. Cat slash etc skchadow. Shadow is the one of the file. See, for me, I don't have a permission. If you can able to read this file, right? Just see cat slash. I will move it as a root user. Root user will have the permission. Okay, because root user is the main user, have the complete access of the system. So cat slash etc skchadow shadow. Okay, if I try to read this shadow file, you can see here username with password. This is the password, actual password of this Kali user. It's in the encrypted format. I mean, even you can use some of the tools like John the Ripper, or also you can use the, I mean, hashcat to encrypt the, I mean, you can get the plain text of this particular hash. Okay, so if you got this, so then you have a complete access. Even if you are a Kali user, if you are Hari user, if you are Raj user, so for each and every user there is possible of different powers. So if you are a Kali user, see, directly you can change it as a root user. You have a power to change from Kali to root user. If the same sudo su-hari, okay, if I try to change from Hari user to root user, right? I'll just show you who am I. Hari user I'm currently. Okay, sudo su. If I hit enter, it's asking me password. I forgot the password. Okay, so for that, before that, I'll show you how to change the password. So if you want to change the password for any user, because I forgot the password for this Hari user. Okay, so first I will show you how to change the password for a user. Then I will show you what error actually you will get if you want to change from low user level to root user. Okay, Kali is like a, as per my system, Kali is like a super user. Super user will have the power to change it to the root user. Okay, but Harry in my system, it's a power user. Harry will not have the power to change from low user to root user. Even same like Raj. Before that, I just want to change the password for this user. So PASSWD, just Harry. Okay, type the username here. So it will not ask the old password directly. It will ask you the new password. I'm giving. You can't see the password here. Okay. Okay. So now what I'm doing, sudo su-Harry. Okay, I'm changing from root user to Hari user. Now what I'm doing, I'm planning to change from Hari user to root user. You see that Hari is the currently I'm in the Hari user. So sudo su-Hari. Okay, so I'm just giving the password. See, Hari is not a sudo, not in the sudo here as well. Hari user not have the permission. Okay, so because Hari is the low privilege user. So based on the user privileges, there are some commands. I mean, there are some privileges restrictions also there. Okay, so if you can able to see this if you can able to get this file, right? If you are in the hurry user, you can able to read this file, then sure, directly what you can able to do, you can decode this password and you can able to get the directly root user privilege. Okay, so based on the analysis, everything will get changed. But so analysis, to understand the analysis, you need to understand which file is sensitive, which file is a normal file for your Linux system. Then only you can able to analyze that. Okay, then only you can prioritize the file. Otherwise, you need to work on each and every folder to read is there is any files or is there is any sensitive data like that. So you need to prioritize which file you need to prioritize first, second, third, like that. So you can see here attendance link already in the chance. I think everyone can able to see the attendance link here. So already it's there. That I think you can interact with Shushmita about this. Um, Shushmita can able to help you for your answer. So even if after this class also you can interact with Shushmita. Okay. Yeah. So fine. So then we have few more folders as a sensitive files, like CD. Yeah, slash var log. Okay, this is also one of the sensitive folders. So log is like, so whatever you are doing, right? So whatever you are doing some activity in your system, if you are trying to log in, whatever it is, every log will store here. Okay, so all the activities, if you have so much of survey, even if you have so much of services, even for each and every services log will store in this particular file. I mean, in this particular folder, you see there is service called Apache 2, NGNX, PostgreSQL, GVM. There are so much of services. Okay, so if you are want to read the Apache 2 log file, you can go to the Apache 2 log. Okay, sorry. As you can see, access log, error log. You can ask me that why I need to read the log of the system. The reason is like, so first one is like Apache 2. Or yesterday we saw that Apache 2 is the service. Once you activate this service, this will help you to launch the website. Okay, so if the website is get launched, so sure there is a, if the website having the login page, if someone is trying to log in, right, if that login credential everything stored by your logs, then this user can able to read this log and take the credential of that username, I mean specific users, and they can able to log in from the website. They can do whatever they want. Okay, so all things are the misconfiguration scenario. It's not like a hacking some things like writing some new script, doing something new. Okay, most of the attacks will be start from the point of misconfiguration. Okay, so that's why in organization, whenever you are getting the laptop, right, you will not, they will not provide you the admin access permission. Okay, so there you will have so much of restriction. Even you can't able to access the Bluetooth. Even you can't able to connect the pen drive in your laptop, Google Gmail. Many restrictions will be there. Okay, so if you want to do something in your organization laptop, you need to get the permission every time, then only you can able to install even a single file. Okay, you can think that okay, this will not affect my entire system and there is no I mean red alert for my laptop. Okay, so even though you need to get the permission from the organization to install, even it's a notepad plus plus file, you need to get a permission. You need to give the proper justification why you need this file, actually what purpose you are going to use, how long you need this file, everything you need to properly mention, then only they will give you the access. Okay, whenever you are getting the organization laptop, you are a normal user, no, not even the super user. Even if you are a super user, sure, you will have some place to get the admin access. So they will not provide you as a super user also. They will give no as a mid of like a guest user and a super user. Okay, you will have the permission, but not for the entire laptop. You can't you can see C drive, but you can't able to get in. You can see what are the files inside the C folder. You can't read that. Okay, so likewise, they will prevent all the things. You can install, but you can't open that file. If you want to open, you need to get the approval from them. So you are a mid of super user and guest user, because guest user is like completely you don't have any permission. Okay, you have only basic, very, very basic access. But if you are a super user, you have complete, at least it's like you are a manager. You have the access to move forward. Okay, so but if you are in organization, they will give the mid level guest and between of the super user. Okay, yeah. So if you guys have any doubts on the commands, whatever we see, and we saw some folders called logs, and I show that file PASSWD, and shadow files are there. Okay, even we have few more things. Anyhow, uh, we have the VirtualBox practice class as well. In that class also, I will cover the same, so we can complete this Linux. Okay, if you guys have any doubts till now, you can ask me. Yeah, the notes I will provide. I'm just preparing the notes. I already informed to the team. Mostly you'll get by Monday or Monday or Tuesday. We'll get the notes. Okay, I'm preparing on the notes. For preparing notes, I just need a time to prepare. So anyhow, I'll provide as soon as possible. Okay, yeah. Um, See, you can get the link from here. I think already everyone have the access for. They posted in the everyone. Okay, you can get the link from here. Everyone will have the access. Okay, fine. So even if you want to run some network level of command, you can run. To find the IP of the Kali, you can use the if config. So this will give you the IP of your Kali system. But this is not a. In IP we have two types. One is like private and another is public. So this will give you the private IP address. Then you can use netstat. So netstat is a command. I'll give you the netstat -tulnp. Okay, so what I am doing here, so I need to monitor whatever the network related traffic is running in my Linux system. I want to monitor that. Okay, whether it is in the established state or whether it is in the waiting state or else it's in the closed state. Okay, so and even that network communication is happened with whom, from address to address, everything I can able to see. Okay, that's why I'm saying that TCP and UDP port I need to monitor. Okay, I need to see what all the traffic is running on the TCP and the UDP. Okay, so I'm just typing TULNP enter. So you can see there is only one traffic is running. So even though that is a local address, there is no target. Okay, so if even that is a UDP service, there is no much services are running because This is my Linux. Even it's running in the VirtualBox. If I even if I run any other services like Apache 2, yeah, I want to start activate any services. See, I will activate service Apache 2 start. Okay, if I give this, now you can see the port 80 is running now. Okay, so if someone is trying to access this port, right? So what I will do, so my system IP is like 1.66. Just copy. I'm pasting here. So I see there is some input field. Okay, so if I go with that command, sorry, not here. Cat access log. Okay, you can see here who did the access of this website. Okay, using this command, you can see whether the port 80s get activated. And if someone is access that, you can see from the access log. Okay, who accessed this and where, what time, and what type of file they try to access from the website. All the information you can see here. I try to access from my browser, my Windows browser. Okay, so it's like connected with each other. Yeah, tell me, if you are trying to ask something, you can ask me. I hope everyone are clear in the today topics. If you guys have any doubts, you can ask me now. Okay, I think if you guys don't have any doubts, I think we can wind up the today part. Uh, yeah. Hello, Shushmita. Can you hear me? So tomorrow we'll continue from this. Even we see bit advanced level of things, because today we see only the basic handling the Linux commands. Tomorrow we see how to handle the user levels and how to handle the it's like a bit next level of things in the same system, Linux systems. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. I can hear your voice. Please tell
Yeah.
me, sir. Is it done, sir?
Yeah. Today we're done with the topic. We covered that. So
Okay.
even we have a few things that already as we planned already, we will see tomorrow that.
Yeah, sure, sir. No problem. Then we can wind up for the day. No issues.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, dear students, the attendance link has been shared it on chat. Once again, I have shared it. I request please mark your attendance. Okay. So, yeah, we will wind up for the day. Thank you all for joining. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Good night.